I'm Ben Hubbard with this expanded morning newscast. Good morning and thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Ben Hubbard. You're listening to the WHOW Morning Show. February is American Heart Month. Heart health has been a focus for Caitlin Mellendorf, nutrition educator with the University of Illinois Extension, over the last few years. We know heart disease remains the number one killer of Americans on an annual basis.
Disease, this is, as you said, this is the top chronic disease in the U.S., top killer for Americans. And so the goal of heart disease management can include lifestyle changes, including food, but also maybe medication or other treatments. And so from the foods perspective, that was all of my 2025. I was doing lots and lots of heart programs. So this is something that's still on my mind coming into the new year and going into American Heart Month, that there's 4 big nutrients that I recommend people focus on if they have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, and they're looking to modify their foods to help support reducing both of those. Those are types of fats, fiber, sodium or salt, and then added sugars. And so those 4 things.
Mellendorf indicates we want to go for fats that are found in fish or seafood, nuts, and avocados, rather than solid fats in some red meats and things like butter.
So the types of fats matter. So we know the ones that are what we call heart protective are what are called unsaturated. And so these are fats that tend to be more liquid at room temperature. So if you think you go shopping, bottles of oil on a shelf that are liquid that you can kind of shake around, those are types of fats that are more heart protective, as are fats in things like fatty fish, so cuts of salmon or tuna, and nuts and seeds, avocado are great sources of these types of fats. The types of fats that are less cardioprotective, that tend to raise blood cholesterol, are the fats that are more solid at room temperature. So think about butter. Coconut oil is, even though it tends to separate, we get more solid of fats and some of our tropical fats like coconut, and then fats within cuts of meat. So think about the skin on chicken, or if you buy a roast and it's got that cover fat on the top, that type of fat tends to be more saturated. And so if your cholesterol numbers are doing good, then whatever, your combination of, genetics and lifestyle might be working for you.
While the exact science behind the links between added sugars and high cholesterol is murky, Mellendorf indicates that added sugars can be or are detrimental to overall health.
Added sugars is an interesting one where we're not 100% sure how the mechanism is changing cholesterol, but what we do know is just this relationship of diets that are higher in added sugars. So we're not worried about sugars in things like fruits or in like milk has the sugar lactose. We're not worried about sugars in just foods. It's the amount of sugar that's added to a lot of foods. So things like sweetened yogurts tend to have a lot of sugar to them. The typical things like sodas and soft drinks, candies, and candy bars, snack foods. And so looking at how do we reduce that? So the American Heart Association recommends, it's interesting because it's a lot of grams. People don't tend to use grams. It's about 6 teaspoons for women, 8 for men. So it's not a lot, but it's also enough that people can still enjoy the cookie and have, the occasional soda and still enjoy the things that make life kind of fun, right? These are fun foods.
Additionally, salt and sodium are big players in heart health. According to Mellendorf, while it takes a while, if you commit to a no sodium or low sodium diet, your taste buds will adjust.
You can also look at salt. Some people are salt sensitive, and so their blood pressure improves by lowering the salt and sodium in their diet. And so the great way to do this is to actually go to the heart health opposite nutrient for blood pressure, which is potassium. And so you're going to get more potassium in fruits and vegetables. So that's a great way to already lower sodium, because most fruits and vegetables are low sodium, but they're also high potassium. And so that is an interesting shift. The potassium can help lower the blood pressure, and then you're already using less sodium, so that also lowers blood pressure. So that's like a 2-for-1 win.
Yeah.
And then when you go shopping, just looking for product packages that say reduced sodium. I see this even in like my little small town grocery store. I'm seeing next to the regular can of green beans, I'll see a no salt added or reduced sodium option. And so when you're shopping, these are great things to just pick up and go, all right, I'm going to try the low sodium version of this, knowing that your taste buds will protest the first couple of weeks you're doing this, because you're noticing, oh, this is not as salty as I'm used to. Your taste buds will adjust.
Finally, fiber is an important component of heart health. On average, Americans only get about half of their daily recommended serving of fiber.
And so fiber has gotten I feel like on social media, got a lot of press around fiber maxing, which was doing a lot of fiber, which probably made a lot of people's guts hurt. So your goal for fiber is about 25 to 35 grams a day. The average American gets about half of that. And so the way that we do this is we eat more fruits and vegetables. We focus on whole grain foods, so things like breads made with whole grain. Quinoa is one of those grains that's higher protein and higher fiber. You can do whole grain products that are made into pancakes and waffles. You can have these mixed. You can also have fiber added into products. So a lot of snack bars will have isolated fibers that are added into the mix, so you get more fiber. Tortillas even I've seen have added fiber to them. There's a lot of products that will have these. So if you're normally buying those products, see if there's maybe that higher fiber option just to try out, see if you like it.
Mellendorf invites people to visit the webinar series she did around 2021 called Health Eats for Healthy Beats on the Extension's YouTube channel. You can also visit extension.illinois.edu for upcoming programs Mellendorf is hosting around the American Heart Month. Now for your local Farmer City, passed away at 9:05 a.m. Thursday, January 29th in Coles County, Illinois. Visitation will be held Thursday, February 5th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Trinity Community Fellowship, 1300 West Clinton Avenue in Farmer City, Illinois. His memorial service will be held 11 a.m. Friday, February 6th at Trinity Community Fellowship, with Pastor Dave Jasmine officiating. Annulment will be at a later date. In lieu of flowers, memorials may be directed to the Cody D. Warren Children's Fund in care of Heartland Bank and Trust Company. Calvert Bankley Bruce Funeral Home in Farmer City is assisting the family with arrangements. Online, get news anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Now you can listen to WHOW on any Amazon Alexa-enabled device. There are 3 easy steps. Step 1.
Download the free Alexa app by going to the App Store on your mobile device.
Step 2. Enable our skill by going to the menu, select Skills, then find WHOW, open the skill.
Step 3. Activate the skill by saying, Alexa, play WHOW radio.
That's all there is to it.
And to stop the WHOW stream, just say, Alexa, stop.
WHOW, now on the Amazon Alexa app.
Hey, it's Shane from Highway 51 Exchange, your mower and equipment service pros just south of Clinton. Click our banner ad on DeWittDailyNews.com or give us a call to schedule your free pickup and delivery today. Highway 51 Exchange.
This winter, your to-do list should include hot cocoa, and that's about it. At Hickory Point Garden Homes, snow removal and winter upkeep are already handled so you can enjoy an easier winter. Schedule a tour today by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
WHOW is Central Illinois' ag station, and that includes providing farmers information on how the commodity markets close each day and week. I'm Todd Gleason from Illinois Public Media, University of Illinois Extension, inviting you to hear the daily closing market report weekday afternoons at 5:06, and on Saturdays, tune in for Commodity Week with a review of the week's markets at 8:30 in the morning, all on WHOW, AM, FM, and streamed online.
From the Heart Media Group Sports Desk, IL Sports Wire, and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local sports report. In a game heard on WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com, Monticello made just one three-point attempt, and Pontiac pulled away for a 66-48 win in Illini Prairie Conference high school boys basketball action Tuesday night in Monticello. The Sages struggled from the get-go and never got any momentum going, making just one of their 19 three-point attempts. The Indians made 9 3-pointers, led by Evan Wolf's 6, and finished with 18 points. And Amazing King had 18 points for Pontiac as well. And Darren Horning and Caden Mashing each scored 10 points. Matthias Rudolph and Jake Motzgood each had 12 to lead Monticello. Nolan Benny-Kemper added 9 points and 9 rebounds for the Sages. Benny-Kemper was the State Bank of Bement Player of the Game. Aiden Brummel had a game-high 14 rebounds for Pontiac, who out-rebounded Monticello 42-30. Pontiac goes to 17-5 overall and 6-0 in the Illini Prairie Conference. Monticello drops to 13-9 overall and 2-4 in the Illini Prairie Conference. They travel to Bloomington Central Catholic on Friday night. Tip-off is 7 p.m. Hear the action on 95.9 FM WEZC and online at DeWittDailyNews.com. Pontiac started fast and never looked back in a 58-43 win over Monticello on Tuesday night from Pontiac High School and Illini Prairie Conference High School girls basketball action. Sarah Cressip was the only Monticello player to reach double figures with 12 points. The Lady Indians led 14-8 after the first quarter, stretching it to a 28-20 lead at the break, and came out on fire in the third quarter, going up 47-32 after 3. The Lady Sages dropped to 15-13 overall and 2-4 in the Illini Prairie Conference. They will host Bloomington Central Catholic on Thursday. Cabron Lee scored 19 of his game-high 32 points in the first half, and Maroa-Forsyth blew out Illini Central 89-40 in Sangamo Conference High School boys basketball action on Tuesday night in Maroa. Lee scored 16 points in the first quarter. Kobe Lane added 18 points for the Trojans, while Grady Rose finished with 12 points. The Trojans go to 14-7 overall and 1-1 in the Sangamo Conference. They will travel to Athens on Friday. Quell Run House's 22 points helped Southern Illinois defeat Illinois State 54-50 on Tuesday night. House shot 9 of 16 from the field and 4 of 4 from the free throw line for the Salukis, who improved to 10-13 and 4-8 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Rollins Allegby scored 12 points while shooting 5 for 10, including 1 for 5 from beyond the arc, and added 12 rebounds. Chase Walker led the way for the Redbirds, who fall to 15-8 and 7-5 in the MVC with 12 points. Landon Wolf added 11 points for Illinois State. Johnny Kinziger finished with 10 points, 4 assists, and 3 steals. House scored 8 points in the first half, and Southern Illinois went into the break trailing 24-22. Southern Illinois used a 7-0 second half run to take the lead at 44-41 with 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the half. House scored 14 second half points. Montana Wheeler led Bradley over Valparaiso on Tuesday with 18 points off of the bench in a 72-65 victory. Wheeler shot 7 of 11 from the field and 3 for 5 from the line for the Braves, who improved to 16-8 and 9-4 in the Missouri Valley Conference. Ahmet Janovic scored 12 points and added 6 rebounds. Alex Huber-Guest shot 4 for 8, including 3 for 6 from beyond the arc to finish with 11 points. Justice McNair led the way for the Beacons with 17 points. They fall to 11-12 and 5-7 in the MVC. Valparaiso also got 16 points from Owen Deese. Rakim Cheney had 11 points. Bradley took the lead for good with 3 minutes and 27 seconds to go in the first half. The score was 40-33 at halftime, with Wheeler racking up 10 points. Wheeler scored a team-high 8 points in the final half. Kyle Kuzma matched a season high with 31 points, and the Milwaukee Bucks snapped a 5-game skid, beating the Chicago Bulls 131-115 in a meeting of shorthanded teams on Tuesday night. Milwaukee was missing its top 2 scorers due to injury, while the Bulls traded away 3 players earlier in the day. We'll have more on those trades coming up next on this expanded sportscast. Chicago was missing leading scorer Josh Giddey due to a strained left hamstring. Milwaukee was again without 2-time MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, who strained his right calf on January 23rd. Antetokounmpo was on the court taking shots and working out before the game. The Bucks improved to 4-15 without Antetokounmpo. Milwaukee also didn't have Kevin Porter, Bobby Portis, and Gary Harris. Bucks coach Doc Rivers said before the game that Porter could return Wednesday or Friday. Ryan Rollins had 21 points, 10 assists, and 7 rebounds for Milwaukee. Kuzma had 10 rebounds and 6 assists. The Bucks made a season-high 23 three-pointers and shot 60.5% from beyond the arc. Chicago's Matas Buzelis scored 22 points. Kobe White had 21 points and 10 rebounds. 2 nights after scoring their fewest points of the season at 107-79 in a loss to Boston, Milwaukee nearly equaled that output by halftime, leading 77-52 at the break. That was the Bucks' highest first-half point total of the season. Chicago cut Milwaukee's lead to 90-84 late in the third quarter, but couldn't get any closer. The Bulls will visit Toronto on Thursday, while the Bucks host the New Orleans Pelicans on a Wednesday. The Eastern Conference leading Detroit Pistons got deeper Tuesday by acquiring Kevin Huerter from the Chicago Bulls as the centerpiece of a 4-player, 3-team deal. The Pistons got Huerter and Dario Saric, who was just acquired over the weekend by Chicago. The Bulls landed Mike Conley Jr. from Minnesota and Jaden Ivey from the Pistons. Huerter is having one of the most well-rounded seasons of his career and joins a Detroit team aiming for a deep playoff run in the East. Ivey spent parts of 4 seasons with the Pistons. He was dealing with the after effects of knee surgery entering the season and was averaging a career-low 8.2 points while getting only 16.8 minutes per game, another career low. Conley's departure from Minnesota would come with one benefit for the Timberwolves, their tax bill. Facing an estimated $24 million bill entering Tuesday, the Conley move dropped the anticipated total to somewhere around $4 million and got them below the first apron. Huerter is averaging nearly 11 points this season and is set to become a free agent this summer. The Boston Celtics are adding some frontline depth for the playoff run, agreeing Tuesday night to acquire Nikola Vucevic from the Chicago Bulls for a guard and Fernie Simons. There is a package of second-round draft capital also involved in the trade. The 35-year-old Vucevic is joining his 4th team after stints with Philadelphia, Orlando, and the Bulls. He has averaged 16.9 points and 9 rebounds this season, roughly matching his career marks of 17.2 points and 10.4 rebounds per game. Simons was with the Celtics for just this season after coming to Boston in the trade last summer that sent Drew Holiday to Portland. He averaged 14.2 points this season for the Celtics, who entered Tuesday tied with New York for second in the Eastern Conference, despite being without Jason Tatum all season while he recovers from a torn Achilles. Both players are set to become free agents this summer. Taking a look at scores from around the NBA, the Detroit Pistons beat the Denver Nuggets 124-121. The New York Knicks took down the Washington Wizards 132-101. The Indiana Pacers fell to the Utah Jazz 131-122, while the Atlanta Hawks beat the Miami Heat 127-115. The LA Lakers took down the Brooklyn Nets 125-109, while the Boston Celtics beat the Dallas Mavericks 110-100. The Oklahoma City Thunder took care of the Orlando Magic 128-92, while the Philadelphia 76ers beat the Golden State Warriors 113-94. While the Portland Trail Blazers fell to the Phoenix Suns 130-125. In the NHL last night, the Columbus Blue Jackets shut out the New Jersey Devils 3-0. The Carolina Hurricanes beat the Ottawa Senators 4-3. The Washington Capitals fell to the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. The Tampa Bay Lightning beat the Buffalo Sabres 4-3 in overtime, while the New York Islanders took down the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-4 in overtime. The Toronto Maple Leafs beat the Edmonton Oilers 5-2, and the Anaheim Ducks took down the Seattle Kraken 4-2. In NCAA men's basketball last night, number 23 Miami at Ohio beat Buffalo 73-71. Number 4 Duke beat Boston College 67-49.
Number 25, Tennessee took down Ole Miss 84-66, while number 3, UConn beat Xavier 92-60. Number 22, St. John's beat DePaul 68-56, and number 18, UVA beat Pitt 67-47. Number 19, St. Louis beat Davidson 91-82. Get highlights of your local high school program by finding IL SportsWire on your preferred social media platforms, and get local sports anytime at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Here's Matt Hart, owner of the Hart Media Group in Clinton.
It's been great. You and Ben and the entire team are doing a great job. And we're just continuing on serving the local community, right? This is what this is all about. We're here to serve our local community. We're here to tell the local stories. We're here to cover the news. So nothing in that regard is changing. Our goal is connecting people. And that's our tagline at Hart Media Group. It's connecting people.
Hart purchased the Miller Media Group in August of 2025 and looks forward to serving the community for years to come.
Health isn't just something you think about when you're sick. At the SIU Center for Family Medicine in Lincoln, our doctors care for you through every stage of life. Annual checkups help you stay ahead of problems, keep your family healthy, and build a relationship with a doctor who knows you. Make preventative care part of your routine. Book your annual appointment online today by clicking their icon at DeWittDailyNews.com. SIU Medicine in Lincoln. Forward for you.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks. Ace now offers free assembly and free delivery, so it's never been easier to get a great grill for your family, like a Weber gas grill, a Traeger wood pellet grill, or a Big Green Egg charcoal grill. Only at your neighborhood Ace. Around the block. What you need in stock, with people who know their grills.
This is Brad from Gibson Ace Hardware in Clinton, Illinois. Stop in to see us, The Helpful Place, at 114 North Madison Street, Clinton.
See participating store for details.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomason in Washington. Demented, despicable, words chosen by Vice President Vance, describing remarks by Congressman Jerry Nadler. Vance says a New York Democrat is openly calling for people to shoot federal law enforcement. The House has passed a $1 trillion funding bill. It ends the latest partial government shutdown. Kentucky Republican Senator Mitch McConnell is in the hospital, hospitalized for observation after suffering flu-like symptoms over the weekend. The search for Nancy Guthrie goes on. The 84-year-old mother of NBC correspondent Savannah Guthrie was kidnapped from her Arizona home over the weekend. Investigators are reviewing a purported ransom note said to demand big money. Watching Wall Street, the Dow futures up 131 points, while the NASDAQ futures are 63 points in the red. More details at srnnews.com.
Maybe this is you too. There's enormous frustration right now with healthcare costs. It is amazing. Healthcare costs for families in the last 20 years have almost tripled. And it just keeps getting worse. All this to say, this is why MediShare is so in demand right now. People are looking for alternatives. And MediShare is proven you can save thousands of dollars a year and actually like it more. Over 1 million Americans are now part of healthcare sharing, and MediShare is the gold standard. It's trusted. It works. It's been helping people save money and have peace of mind now for 30 plus years. It's not some big impersonal thing either. It's a community of people like you helping each other. So yeah, if you're frustrated too, here's your chance to make a refreshing change. You'll notice the difference as soon as you call. They're easy to talk to. You can get a price within 2 minutes. Here is the number. Call 844-45-BIBLE. That's 844-45-BIBLE. 844-45-BIBLE.
From the Hart Media Group newsroom and DeWittDailyNews.com, I'm Ben Hubbard with this local news update. Some extremely cold weather quickly mitigated an overall warmer than normal stretch to open 2026 during the last few weeks. Ed Shimon at the National Weather Service in Lincoln indicates if it wasn't for the warm start to January, it very well may have ended up a top 10 or top 5 coldest month.
Well, wind chills have been below zero for so many days I can't even count. Temperature-wise, the balance got tipped below normal, and 2.5 to 2.6 degrees is below normal. So that's a lot after having that really warm start. If we had not had that warm start, this could have been one of the top 10 coldest winters or coldest Januaries. But we just had that abnormally warm start. So, it's still pretty cold. 2.5 degrees below normal is a lot.
According to Shimon, despite a couple of major snow events in January, it ended up drier than normal. Snowfall totals varied greatly from northern Illinois to southern Illinois.
And then precipitation-wise, we were just a little below normal, 1 inch below normal there, but not in the snowfall, really. I mean, I loaded up a summary on Cocoa Raws, and the area generally had, looks like 6.5 to 7 inches of snow, which is above normal for January. January, typically, we would see roughly, let me look at here, I've got it. Well, 5.7. So, yeah, just a little above normal for January. Rainfall amounts the moisture content was about 1 inch below normal because it was a fluffy snow both times. We really had much snow, so wasn't a lot of water content there.
Right.
Yeah, that winter storm that hit on the 24th, 25th actually hit southern Illinois with 12 to 14 inches of snow. And then, as you went further north, Peoria, we only had, I think, 2.5 inches or so. Folks in the southern half of Illinois that are just digging out probably still, even, when you get 14 inches of snow.
Because of how cold it has been, any rain for the foreseeable future will likely result in runoff moisture because the ground is frozen. Shimon also reminds that snowfall does not equal the amount of moisture going into the ground, especially during these cold times with no warm temperatures to melt the snow. We'll have more with Shimon on that dynamic impacting drought locally later this week at the Hart Media Group. Get news anytime from your computer or from your mobile device at DeWittDailyNews.com. That's DeWitt County's #1 source for news, sports, police blotter, obituaries, and more. It's DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is staff meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki with your regional radio forecast. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun today, with daytime highs approaching 26. North winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. Mainly clear skies.